All right. What's going on? We are live. How's everybody doing tonight? Catch this mute so we don't have an echo, and we are good to go. Sand Mountain Ballistics, Hunter in the house. Good to see you. We also have no fear. Dougster is here. Good to see you, Dougster. How you doing tonight, buddy? Buff Del Campo's in the house. Brother Bear Rose Garage. Good to see you, man. Got my No Name Nationals community shirt order today. Get yours while they last. Hey, appreciate you. Did see the order come through a few minutes ago. I know Dust Devil Brian wanted one, but I haven't seen him order one yet. Just see he just jumped in. Good to see you, Brian. Those shirts are available on the website for pre-order. Two Hacks Jeff is in the house. Good to see you, man. Rainy Day Auto, Warning Labels Racing, 38 Racing. Good to see you. Made it here and didn't even get lost. Nice. What's everybody into this Friday night? I've been running my butt off all day is kind of what I've been doing. Chasing parts and trying to get everything in line so hopefully we can put that silly water truck back together in the shop tomorrow and get that thing out of my hair. Kim's in the house. Heavens Mopar Scott's in the house. Colleen Tebow is in the house. Good to see y'all. Your 3X V-neck, can you do that? Unfortunately, we're not really doing custom orders on the No Name National shirts. I can do a 3X though. It's just going to be a regular neck. Celebrating 5 years of owning shop truck. The new body is back on the truck and she looks mean. That's awesome, Dougster. What's happening, Warning Labels? Otherwise known as ASO. Good to see you, brother. Did I get your email? You talking to me? I don't think so. Not unless you sent it like in the last 5 minutes. Okay, yeah, I did. Right on. I wanted to make sure Bobby got my information as well. So I don't know if you sent that to him. That'd be great. If not, John will. Thank you, Colleen. Appreciate it. Sounded like he wanted to maybe venture into getting some merch done. Right on. I have, I don't know if you guys noticed, just to make it easy, at least for the duration of this live, and it's in the description of the video as well. But there goes. I got it already. What did I get already, John? Oh, yeah, Colleen sent it to me in an email. But I wanted to make sure Bobby got mine as well. Here I am. I'm talking to John Wilburn, texting me like, hopefully he's listening. Multitasking. I've been doing that all day. I'm getting kind of worn out. Hang on, let me go ahead and respond to him real quick. All right, I'm back. What a miss. Let's see. Mama M3 is thumbs up. Wearing Labels Racing. How good would a T-bone go down right now? Real good. What's happening, Dean? Scared to eat much, Dean, but I did get to eat today. Well, that's a good thing, except for the scared to eat much part. What's happening, Peckerwood, Aaron? Good to see you, man. Let's see, Tony. Is there anything to differentiate between the first and second run of the No Name Nationals t-shirts? No, they are identical, or they will be identical to the ones that were for sale at the event. It's kind of the purpose of doing this rerun of them is because those of you that weren't able to get them at the event, now you have a chance to get them. I made the ones that were done at the event, so I'll be making these repops also. It'll be the exact same shirt, exact same graphics, exact same everything except smalls, 4X's and 5X's will also be available where they were not at the event. But as far as the graphics goes, they will be identical and the same shirt.
Everything woke turns to shit.
Okay. Hang on, guys. I'm sorry. And now I'm going to put this phone on be quiet. I think most of us are all on the same political page in here, but maybe everybody doesn't want to hear Trump yelling about wokeness turning to shit, although I do agree with that statement. Obviously, it's my ringtone on my cell phone, and I made it. Busted Radio Garage. What's happening? Finishing up a 16-hour day in the shop, swinging in for a minute, brother. 3 a.m. comes early. Boy, I hear that. I got a busy day in the shop tomorrow, too. Dump truck here that needs PM service and a couple of repairs, and hopefully we can get that water truck put back together and the hell out of my shop so I can quit leaving the toys outside. It's coming to winter and I don't like it. Peckerwood says, been out of bed 2 hours and I'm all ready for a nap. I've had days like that. BRG, Chris is supposed to be the off season. Take a breath. That's funny. Off season is when everything fun happens. UP, thanks for taking care of the lives today, says Busted Radio Chris. Evans Mopar Scott says best ringtone ever. Yeah, I sound clipped that at the rally where or not. I wasn't physically at the rally in Alabama where he said that, but I got the sound bite off of YouTube and promptly turned it into a ringtone in 2020, and it's been on my phone ever since. Peckerwood says Chris is busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, right? Busier than a three-legged cat covering shit. Yes, I stole that from Steven. He sent me that in an email one time, and I just laughed my ass off, told him I was stealing it, and I've been using it ever since. Big Block 402, Steven, that is. Dean says Donald J. Trump was such an odd president, 45th and soon to be 47th. God, I hope so. We can't take another 4 years of this bullshit we've been going through. Rainy Day Auto says here in Colorado too. I started my duster project today. Awesome. Right, Jeff? Off season is when I don't sleep. That's when all the magic happens. Trying to get shit done. Yeah, we're going to be setting up the new lift in the shop and doing all kinds of stuff here coming up. Dougster says one of the paving crew guys when I worked for the asphalt company could take a 17-minute nap on a 20-minute break. It was unreal to see. Colleen says last smoke of the night in bed. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat ordered 2 shirts. Saw the order for Dawn the other day. Oh, they're coming in quick. We're actually getting quite a few orders. You see the one here for Dawn. Okay, that's a second order. You ordered a second one. Gotcha. That's why I have the website. It keeps holy shit, Bear Rose. Thank you, man. That is friggin' awesome. Here's a few bucks for the domain help and a couple more for the honey badger. Sir Rats a lot is hungry and a honey badger don't give a fuck. Thanks again, man. That is awesome. Thank you, sir. 50 bucks. Actually, Chris, unfortunately, I didn't have any luck getting a hold of Brad or Mike. They tried calling several times and ended up emailing back and forth with a different guy, and the price just wasn't where it had to be for us. I ended up getting an Atlas that I was able to pick up here in Phoenix. Really did want to go with a Wildfire. Nothing against them guys; they got a whole bunch going on. I get it, but for a little over $1,000 less, I was able to get pretty close to the same lift. And basically, it was the freight because I was able to pick it up right here at the warehouse in Phoenix. And unfortunately, it's still in its package sitting outside next to the shop because I got a water truck in there and can't get it put together. Mopar is busier or funnier than a three-legged cat trying to bury a turd on a frozen pond. That's a good one. This is one I cat. Yeah, I just ordered another one a few minutes ago. Yeah, I see the orders here. I will when they all ship out, I'll combine that shipping and you'll probably see a small refund come back to you so you don't have to pay double shipping. Super busy. That is distinctly odd, says Dean. RTG, Rabid Transit Garage. What's happening, Jay? Good to see you, man. Selling the hell out of these no name shirts. That's a good thing. Every one of these that sells puts a few extra bucks in the no name nationals fund. See what John comes up with us cool for us. That's nice and cool for next year. Tell you what, hats off to John Wilburn. He really does. He busts his ass and he puts on a really good event for us. Can't think of anywhere else for the money you spend to go to no name nationals that you can have an event like that. I mean, where else can you do that for less than $100? Unless you're me and you spend $1,000 in fuel getting there, but that don't count. I don't care what event you go to, you're gonna have to pay for fuel to get to it. It's amazing to see how this NNN has united people of a common interest. Quite impressive. It is very impressive. And this is a group that's just second to none. Wearing Labels Racing says Tony's hats are the best. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I do also. Matter of fact, I made this hat that I'm wearing. This was kind of a prototype to the ones that we sold at No Name Nationals at the event this year. Thank you for shipping them. Oh yeah, absolutely. Deke actually did the same thing. He bought two shirts on two separate orders, and I'll end up combining shipping, and he'll uh, he'll end up getting a little bit of money back too. Unlike a lot of these outfits, I don't mark up shipping. Shit's expensive enough. I don't need to make money off of shipping. I think whatever it cost me for a box. Yeah, Colleen says $100, and it's not even $100. But it's less than $100 for 3 days exactly. Yeah, I need to get the shop cleared out and get that water truck out there and get the lift set up because winter one of the winter projects coming in is that 1948 Jeepster. Yeah, shipping is indeed insane. Combining shipping, combining corn, right? Yeah, exactly. More than 3 days if you play it right. It's like me, I always do my best to show up midday Wednesday. Shipping is high right now, like everything else. Yeah, it's insane. Everything is just insane. That's why we need to speak with our votes. Let's see, today's the first. 4 more days. I'm just a Jeepster. Yeah, I should make a shirt that says that. I'm just a Jeepster. That would actually be really cool. I'm excited to work on that old thing. It's such a beautiful piece. What a survivor that car is. You guys will see because as soon as it's in the shop and we get started on it, there's going to be a lot of content on it. Its owners have already agreed that they would love to see it on the channel, so we're going to do just that. We're going to film just about everything we do to it. Bust radio. I got a frame for the Linda poster that Don won. I sure wish I could have got one of those Linda posters. I tried to win them. BNR says I would like to do a drag and drive event in 25 along with the No Name Nationals, emergency repairs, marking lots of roadsides, tests of a true mechanic. Hell yes. One of the cool things about the No Name Nationals is the event itself is like our Super Bowl. You get to see the progress leading up to it all year long. Yeah, that's been said before, and I wholeheartedly agree with that statement. Matter of fact, I think you're the one that said it in the past. Unfinished has a Linda poster. I am definitely jealous. Hell yeah, Wendy. Dougster. Let's see here. See, Dragon Drive won't be cheap. Figure 5 grand. Oh yeah, all of it. Thing with Dragon Drives, you got fuel and lodging and all of it. But it's I don't spend quite that much on No Name, but it's an expensive undertaking for us coming from Arizona. You nailed that 428. Linda was Busted Radio Garage Chris's satellite burnout car. Beautiful car. He ended up selling the car earlier this year. That 1320 event Thumper did after No Name Nationals looks like fun. Yes, I agree. Hey, Ron English is in the house. Good to see you, man. 38 Racing says that ice cream cruise is close enough. I might try it out. That'd be fun. You won't believe me when I tell you this. I came an ace of buying Linda back the other day. That would be cool. That would be super cool. That had to be hard for you to get rid of that car. Morning that was racing says, I think I spent about 400 bucks. Yeah, you're a whole bunch closer. And you didn't bring two race cars. Shit, we spent twice that just on fuel for the toys. It was cool to see Homer. Indeed it was. I guess old Homer's getting a whole makeover this winter. I can't wait to see how it comes out. Screw that cursed ass car. Yeah, she did like to give you loads and loads of shit, didn't she? These chats are good to discover more channels. Busted Radio subscribed. Absolutely, they are. Hanging out in John Wilburn's lives. I mean, way back in the day is where I started, meeting all of you guys and, as far as online anyway. And then when I first went to No Name Nationals, it was absolutely best thing I did. Show up and it's like, just like you grew up with them. Bunch of great people, and there's a lot of them. Rapid Transit says I'm tempted to turn my rusty 66 Charger into a burnout car instead of cutting it up. Excuse me. That would be actually pretty cool. Rather see it burnout car than cut up. But she's, you know, six of one, half a dozen the other, I suppose. Ron, I saw a person trying to dress up as unified projects. I wonder who that was. All answers in plain English. I'm a bit backwards. Mama M3 says, I'm out, y'all. Everyone have a great weekend. You do the same, Colleen. And thanks for sending me that email. Appreciate you. 38 racing as hell. I don't look at the money on the fuel tickets for it. Right? I have a friend. Dougster says, I have a friend of mine who's a salesman delivery guy for a golf cart company. When he leads us on a motorcycle rides, we drive sales routes and pass numerous GC. Pretty cool. That is cool. Well, I hope Homer becomes homely. As Mopar says, I wonder how much it would cost to bring the L700 ramp truck hauling a duster down and back from Spokane, Washington. A lot. Not making any promises yet. Still don't know how the economy is going to turn, coming up, but there's still always the possibility that I may end up with a larger trailer capable of hauling multiple cars, and we could always strike a deal if that comes to pass. Help some of you guys on the western side of the country get to No Name Nationals. Couple $1,000s worth of fuel doesn't hit so hard when you split it 3 or 4 ways. Morning Lowe's Racing, your screen name is wrong. Hello, Mrs. Cat. Barrows says, me and Tony showed up at the first No Name Nationals, and our daily drivers still had the times of our lives. Abso-friggin-lutely, we did. Hey, Mohawk 62, good to see you, man. Glad you stopped by. So, SB Twisted Mopar Dennis, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Warning label said I enjoyed every minute of it. Every minute of it, a lot of fun. Indeed, it was. Depends on if the engine is the Lima 370 or not. Wonder if you're who's he talking to? Maybe Scott. It's sure gonna be fun having them two rats at no name in 25 though. Bear Rose. I don't know if you noticed, but I did get yours and Shane's pages at least half started on the website. Your domains are all put together. If you want to check them out, shop.bearrosegarage.com. There's nothing for sale on it yet, but it's there and it works. Same with shop.slantdailygarage.com. And if you just enter into the web into your Google browser, bearrosegarage.com, it shoots directly at your channel. Also with Shane's channel, slantdailygarage.com shoots you right to his channel. So those are the two newest members of the Gunslinger Graphics website. Is Mr. Bear Rose and Mr. Professor P from Slant Daily Garage. Coming up here real soon, we're going to be shooting off a Cookie Monster t-shirt for Shane. And we're in the works of getting some stuff put together for Brother Bear. B&R says an old flatbed Hino diesel tow truck might be a practical long distance hauling for no name nationals. I have 8 or 9 of them at work, been towing lately at work. Short on help, gets 12 miles a gallon, 70 miles, 75 miles an hour. That's actually a really good idea. We with the 22 Ford that we hauled the two cars on the 30-foot aluminum trailer this year, we averaged about 12.9 miles to the gallon for the duration of about 3,600 miles round trip. Dean says, Twisted, hope you're able to kick back. Great work for this week, and last friends are special. Correct, they are. Mohawk says, I've been lurking. No Name Nationals, hands down the best event ever. I couldn't agree more. Tony's camel towing, 23 and a half hour service, half an hour to shit, shower, and shave. Yeah, that's no shit, huh? This is One Eyed Cat. Our first was a daily driver, didn't race, but we had a great time. Yeah, absolutely. Evans Mopar Scott says, Dean, it's the industrial 361 in it and a 2-speed overdrive rear. It has a 2-barrel carburetor. First thing you need to do is get rid of that 2-barrel carburetor and let that 361 breathe, and it'll do a lot better for you. That and a good dual exhaust. And don't put a ginormous carburetor on it either. A 600 vacuum secondary Holly would be a great choice for that engine on a dual plane manifold. No single planes, not in a truck. Unless you're racing it like me. Yeah, let's see. We have a Mohawk outside bed. Where are you going to find that? 7.6 liter turbo diesel Hino has air brakes, so need a Class B CDL. I have a Class A, so that's not a problem. Camel towing. I'd try to mimic that cackle, but I think all 34 of you would slam the door on me. Yeah, 34 in here, 30 minutes in. That's impressive. Right on. Appreciate all of you hanging out with us. We are contenders now, Mrs. Cat. Enjoyed helping Don on his car. A lot of fun hanging out with Don and Ron. Yeah, they're a good bunch, those English boys. Izzy says UP, that would be worth seeing. Twisted Mopar Dennis says try drive the Dart Sport there and race it. That would be cool. That's actually the end goal for the truck. I want to be able to drive it to events. And I really can now. It stays cool, doesn't overheat. The transmission doesn't overheat. It actually does really well on the road. Just need to get a good set of street tires for the ass end of it. I enjoyed my 280 horse Hynos B&R racing. B&R says just have all that D-rate issues, Tony, to overcome. Fixes, knock sensors, wiring harness holds up. Yeah. Yep, exactly. That goes with any of this modern emissions controlled shit. Dual quad 361. Well, I'd love to see something like that. I actually have a 361 short block out in the shop. I may do something like that with eventually, but that certainly wouldn't be the setup for a tow rig. I guess if you're wide open throttle all the time, it'd do great. But pass everything but a gas station. Finish says TMG, when are we gonna see the dart sport? That's a really good question. Twisted says, Dean, I basically finished up the first round of work, cleaned out 3 sheds of parts, sent 3 loads to the scrapyard. Holy moly. I go kilometers an hour, right? Deato says, where's the dart sport? Twisted Mopar Dennis has one. Unfinished Projects has one. John Wilburn has one. Yep, great folks. Absolutely. Izzy says at Heavens Mopar, I had a friend in 1979 and had a 69 Motion Vet, blown 427 4-speed and a 2-speed rear. That is really cool, Dizzy Izzy. Good night, all. Take care. You too, Chris. Good to see you, man. Yep, Dean said the same thing. Wilburn has one and a few others here too. If I could find one, I would have one. Great cars. Dennis says unfinished soon. Been busy cleaning out the sheds. Got the sheds torn down, and cleaned up. So I'm going back tomorrow on the boys' dart. Try to get it in color quickly. Nice. BNR says Dane Hinos are okay if maintained. When I started a year ago at present job, entire fleet of AAA tow trucks just shot. Yeah, tow trucks get their asses handed to them, especially AAA trucks. See, went to my favorite Sunoco station today. They got 260 GT race fuel on a pump for $9.99 a gallon. Nice. Hey, Tease is in the house. Tease, good time garage. Good to see you, man. Tried to give a 361 away for a long time. Sadly, it is probably a new Honda by now. Evening, y'all. Yeah, the one I've had, I actually rescued out of a scrap yard. That and actually, funny enough, the engine that's in my hot rod Dodge truck now, that block, well, that was a complete 440 and transmission. I bought that and that 361. I was actually just taking a load of scrap to the local scrap yard to get rid of it. I seen those 2 engines there, and big block Mopar. You can't let that happen. Asked him, "What's it going to take these home?" And I bought them for scrap price. And eventually turned the 440 into that fire breathing 451 that's in the truck today. So there's quite the backstory to that engine. Saved it from certain death. Twist Mopar Dennis says, I'm going to look at the 360 rotator that goes into the dart. It's a new build, never been fired. Nice. CRT news flash. The Coronet is going to the body shop tomorrow to get the engine compartment painted. Awesome, John. Good to see you, brother. That is awesome news. Can't wait to see that car hit the racetrack. I'll bet you can't either. Did you get my text, Mr. Cope, John? The new shirts are up on the website, and I sent you the link to them. Mine is a 73 Dart Sport. That's cool, Dennis. Way cool. Mohawk says I've been subbed to Rainy Day Auto for over a year now. Glad to see you in the chat. Yeah, I just subscribed to him tonight and John's live. Twisted also owns a 64 Dart Slant 6 4-speed car. Hey, that's cool. Rainy Day Auto says I remember around '05 you couldn't give away a Dart Sport. Now they seem to be hot, right? BNR says, Dougster, I'm old. I remember buying Sunoco 260 at 110 at $1.99 a gallon, 1987. Yeah, I do remember when race fuel was actually affordable. Kind of falling behind on these comments a little bit. Mr. Cope says, yes, sir. Awesome. I can I can share that link up. The links up at they're pinned. I've got, of course, my link to join the chat if you guys want, as well as the link for the No Name National shirt, just to make it easy. Dean says I've flagged it. Nope, unfinished is out. Right on. Good to see you. Good. Thanks hanging out, man. We'll see you next time. Mrs. One Eyed Cat's telling everybody to hit that thumbs up. Rainy Day Auto seems like most of you know each other by name. Yeah, we've known each other for over 3 years now. Good bunch here. I'll tell you one thing about this whole No Name Nationals crowd. You won't find a single asshole in it. I don't know about a dart sport, but a sporty dart would be nice. That's cool, Jeff. That would be cool. I know exactly where there is one too. I just probably get my nuts chopped off if I bought it. So we've been buzzing around a little bit about this new shirt that we kicked out for Mr. Cope. I go ahead and share it up for him. It's a nostalgic shirt for him. Super super cool. Let me share this screen up here. John, you're more than welcome to jump in and talk about it a little bit if you want. Link is pinned to the top. Let's see if I can remember share screen. There we go. This was John's dad's shop. This is John Cope's roots right here. Transmatic Transmissions, Calumet City, Illinois. And we've even got the smiley towers on the front. Try and zoom in on this a little bit so you guys can see. But John had reached out to me and wanted me to do these for him. And I made them up for him and sent him a couple pictures of them. His order actually went out on today's UPS, but he shared it on Facebook this morning. And a few people was asking about them. He asked me if I'd throw them up on the website. So I did. And here they are for sale. Anybody wants one, absolutely grab them. BNR, I think some of those were used on some cars too. See, BNR says, Dean, have you ever seen this old teapot Holly 4-barrel used on an International 540 gasoline grain truck engine? I had to rebuild one back in 2012. I have seen those. It's like a spaceship. Tim 72 Demon, good to see you, man. I also shot you a subscribe tonight. Looks like you got a pretty cool thing going on. Twisted Mopar Dennis says, I answered anything, been called everything except late for lunch. Dougster says, I want that shirt. Well, they will be. They are available, everything up to 5X. So jump on the website and grab you one. I'd be happy to make it for you. Assuming you're talking about the Transmatic shirt. They were used on the old Big Four jobs. Used BHP Mining, Western Mining. I haven't seen any since the early 70s. It was like four. When I was like four. BNR says maybe Jeff. BNR, the Y blocks, I think, had them. I think they did, Jeff. Sounds like an acceptable compromise for Tony's Hot Rod Garage. 38 Racing says, I see. You get to see a Ford that's been in the trees for 20 years to crawl on a GM trailer tomorrow morning. Yikes. Baby T-Birds use a teapot carb, also the Continental MK2. Mohawk says, don't call me late for lunch, but don't call me at all for my funeral. Right? Barrows says teapot carbs or Aladdin's lamps. Those things were kind of infamous for barking like a dog. Woof, right? John says, up, Dougie. Tim 72 Demon says, I was subscribed, Tony. I've been unsubscribed to a few channels. That I have to stay on top of it all the time. YouTube, that for whatever reason, YouTube just does that. I've had channels that I've been subscribed to for years. Just one day, I'm not subscribed to them. And I get to thinking, I haven't seen any content from so and so. And I go looking and, well, hell, I ain't subscribed no more. What the hell? I didn't unsubscribe. So, yeah, you got to watch that. YouTube will do that to you. And I don't know why. It's one of life's great YouTube mysteries. So, absolutely no hard feelings. Mohawk says, hello, John Cope. Reversion. Little teapot's worst friend, right? Tim 72 Demons has been subscribed to most from the No Name Nationals. Great bunch of people. Well, we sure appreciate you. John Cope says Mo 62. Aladdin's lamps. Right? Yeah, I still need to sit down and watch the video that John Cope put out on the SFI 727. That's actually really exciting to see that coming to light. I want to see how well it fit in that B body. If it fit. See, Dean says, Y Block Thunderbird had them early versions too. Dizzy says, best group on YouTube. Hands down. Arrow says, if I remember right, the teapot was Holly's first 4-barrel carbs, though, back when Holly and Ford were like peas and carrots, right? Best people and community on the planet. Absolutely, Mohawk. Two Hacks Jeff said, I saw that case last week. Very, very cool item. Yeah, I know, right? You were, I remember, that's right. You and your dad went and seen John, didn't you? Rainy Day Auto says, I need to bring some girl power to no name nationals. Not many of us around. Absolutely. Bring the thunder. Dougster says, Twisted, I would have bought the limited slip 9 1/4 unit from you. Teapot ECZ 9510 L list 1162 1956 on eBay. Nice. 2X says, yeah, it was a great time. Always a great time with John. Absolutely. One of these days, I need to get up to that neck of the woods and hang out with him for a day. Definitely would love to see his shop. It was a pair 355 set. Dizzy says, rainy day auto. Yep. Absolutely. So is everybody ready for old man winter to set in? I know it's Arizona. Everybody thinks it's hot here, but we've been in a freezing temps at night the last 3 or 4 nights. Already got the old wood stove going. We got a bunch of work to do out in the shop early in the morning, so I went and blew the dust out of the old salamanders tonight. Make sure they're going to fire up and run on my black diesel that I feed them. Give us some heat in the morning because we're going to want it. BNR says we used to replace all the grain trucks, governor carburetors here with 4160, 600 CFM, 427 tall deck, 4150, 750 double pumpers. That tall deck's actually a good engine. Barrow says, you bet Rainy Day Auto and Mama M3 and Mrs. One Eyed Cat need some competition. Hope to see you there for sure. Heck yeah. Two Hacks says, thanks, Tim. Next year I'll be taking my dragster there. Right on. That dragster is so damn cool, Jeff. Love that thing. Beautiful. You guys did such a kick ass job building that car. Yes, I hope Mohawk says, yes, I hope everyone has put antifreeze back in their cars and trucks. Yeah, I did that 3 weeks ago. Unfinished project is shared up Rainy Day Auto's channel. Thank you, sir. It was said in the last live, and I'll say it in this live as well. Unfinished project is a great moderator. Tim72 Demon says it snowed here in Colorado the other night, getting too cold to work on the projects outside. Indeed, it is. Rainy Day says winter isn't so bad for me now that I finally got a garage to work in. No more carport battles. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't like working outside in the frozen cold. BNR filled the 454 truck with the good stuff. Xerox final charge, diesel antifreeze. That is good stuff. There were 330, 370, and 390 CFM versions of the Holly 4000 teapot. Dougster says, got a killer finned cast aluminum rear diff cover for shop truck coming. It has 3D Ram's head cast in and is polished and powder coated. Dutch guy's garage make me a deal I couldn't refuse, and it's new. That's awesome, Dougster. That is super cool. Dean, we scrapped a lot of good stuff. Rapid Transit shot a sub to rainy day. That's awesome. Twisted. I'm sure you made the right choice. America is a big place. Toss up the link just in case anybody wants to jump in. Heavens, Mopar's already subbed to Rainy Day Auto. Thanks for joining us. Absolutely. Dennis says no, he tried to keep them, but he's out of room and sheds had to be torn down. I heard that. Tell you, I've scrapped a lot of shit over the years I wished I hadn't done. Throwing good stuff on an iron load hurts. Yes, it does. Barrow says a rainy day auto drag racing a 74 service truck. That would be cool for sure. I agree. Tim 72 says we have a 100-year-old house. The garage is built for a 27 Ford. Now it's just my tool shed and bench. I miss my four-car garage from the previous house. Yeah, back in the early 90s, my father in law built the building that is now my shop. It's about 1,800 square feet, and I'm blessed to have it. 38 says we did have a drag racing tow truck this year. That was friggin' cool. That was. I really enjoyed watching that. Twisted Dennis says 38. Yes, he had a stroke. Yes, it is. He had a stroke. Stuff had to go. Could not let it sit in the yard. $170 a ton. Yep. Time eventually will come that things need to be liquidated. It sucks, but it's just a fact of life. Rainy Day Auto says, I really need to add content because I have a lot of cars. I've saved a bunch of cars from old yards going under. Just need more hours in each day. It takes a lot of time to create content. But having all those cars and all those saved cars, that's great content. It's a heck of a way to build a strong channel. B&R misses the barn workshop that he had rented for 12 years off a friend. Yeah, that would be nice. Go ahead and throw up a link here for Rainy Day Auto's channel. Anybody wants to check out the channel, there's a link. Make it nice and easy. What else we got going on? Just need to learn. 38 says, I just need to learn not to store stuff in the shop. Tell me all about it. I got enough room in the shop for about 8 cars, and it's most of the time it's a challenge to get 3 in there because it's full of tools and stuff and everything else. BNR says I had my own private junkyard back in the day. It was awesome. That would be friggin' cool. Dean says I'm more of a bonsai garage guy. I've preferred to do engines, fuel management, electronics on mine. Fragmentation of engineering for SUVs is a blessing and a curse. Absolutely. Barrow says, "At rainy day, if you need any help on how to fine tune your videos so they are the best chances for YouTube success, this community will bend over backwards to help you build your channel up." Absolute truth. Barrow's Garage has actually been very instrumental in helping build a lot of channels. John Wilburn does the workshops and the content creator workshops, and lots of help available in this community. I've had 5 cars in mine now. I barely right. Twisted Mopar says, "Rainy day, I am number 64." That is cool. Yeah, Barrow's Garage he's a good dude and he knows how to build a channel. He's always willing to help. 38 Racing says, "I've had 5 cars in my shop. Now I can just get one in there." I know the feeling. I know the feeling. There's definitely a lot of help. Rapid Transit Garage says there's definitely a lot of help building a channel in this community. Jay, you are 100% correct. And Rainy Day, I don't know if you're on Facebook or not. If you are, there's also a group. It's actually run by Jay at Rapid Transit Garage, the Facebook group for the No Name Nationals. Run out and find a link to that real quick and get it shared up in here. Facebook can be such a pest to navigate sometimes, but and of course there's always friggin' a pain in the butt finding stuff on Facebook sometimes. All right, here we go. There. There's the link for the Facebook page, No Name Nationals fan page. It's actually a really great place to hang out if you're a Facebooker. Lots and lots of good stuff going on in that group all the time. We huge thanks to Rapid Transit Jay for taking care of that page and running it as well as he does. Does a great job with it. Dennis says you got to call it a day. Thank you. Thank you all and good night. God bless everyone. Right back at you, Dennis. Thanks for hanging out with us for a while tonight. Good seeing you, brother. Dougster says, "Rainy day, just talk to the camera like you were talking with a friend." Absolutely. Took a minute to get used to doing that, but once you do, it makes it a lot easier to do videos. It's like hanging out with buds, and that camera's one of your buds. Not on Facebook. Most of my internet time is on for a bodies only or on here. Right on. That's for a bodies only is actually a really good forum, and I don't blame you for not being on Facebook. If I didn't use it for marketing, I wouldn't be on it either. As far as I'm concerned, it's pretty much a cesspool. But there are some good people on there, and if you have good groups, I will say that. But Facebook is a breeding ground for hatred. Shorts of engines, cars, and burnouts, etc. Yeah, that'll grow a channel pretty quick. Dizzy is right. Let's see. 38 Racing says, "Hearing myself that gets me." I hear you, man. for whatever reason, you just sound different on camera than what you think you do. Dean says Ram Air 5, 4 aren't very easy to work on and built around a 3SG wide angle engines. I've chosen down here all RHD, no EGR, but all have spring tower braces and automatic 5 doors. Okay, RAV4s. You're talking about the Toyota RAV4s. Same here, 38 Racing. Dougster says, not on Facebook, but I'm trolling Marketplace daily. Yeah, Marketplace, sometimes you can find good deals on there. I mean, I have found good deals on Marketplace, but some of the people are sure a pain in the butt. I just load up my shorts and send them out before I realize I sound dumb. Right. Who's that goofball? Oh, that's me. Right. Really early ones, Tony. Dizzy says, yep, Tony, talk like you're talking to a friend in the background. Show your vid of whatever. Yeah, absolutely. That's what gets the channel going. And that's what people like is if you look like you're acting for the camera, people aren't interested. They're interested in what's real. And that's what gets views. I mean, I thought it was the absolutely goofiest dumb video. I didn't expect to do shit, but we were just having fun at No Name Nationals. And Jed Scott's Speed Shop, knocking the baffles out of the weed burner headers on the rat rod. It was about a minute and a half long. So even though it was in vertical format, it ended up, being a long form video. I just threw it up directly from the phone, no editing, no nothing. That damn thing got 10,000 views in like a day, half a day. It was nuts. You never know what in the world people are going to watch, but it was just us out there at No Name, just clowning around. Thought it was the dumbest video ever, but it just took off, and you'll see that. Rainy Dallas have not used Marketplace, but I find a lot of stuff by word of mouth. A lot of people have come to know me as the Mopar gal who loves Valiants. That's cool. 38 Racing loading up your shorts. I don't think I'd admit that. LOL. Let's see. Mohawk says, Dean, you load your shorts. You should change them or wear a diaper. Right? Barrows says, Rainy Day Auto, you're in good company here. All a good place to relax. Be yourself with other friends and just be. Crystal Kilgore says, happy Hawaii Day, rainy day. Dean says, I just drop 'em and get a new set, Mohawk. B&R says, Dean, I like the first generation Honda CRV with the B20 Z2 2-liter dual overhead cam. Simple, reliable, easy to work on. Still have a 99 all-wheel drive. Yeah, that was actually a really good engine, B&R. Thank you, Lars. Remember, the Honey Badger don't give a fuck. Lars sent us $10. Thanks a lot, man. Sure appreciate that. It's all going to help pay for that new front end going under that thing this year. Yeah, stay tuned for that too, guys. That's another winter project. Is we don't want any more hard right turns in the shutdown, so that rat rod is getting a whole new front end set up under it, stiffened up, putting a roll cage in it. It's a lot of power for that old chassis. It's going to get some structural love this year. So there'll definitely be a bunch of cool content on that getting done too. Barrow says for sure, for sure. Everybody's saying hi to Lars. Dean says Honda's much easier to work on than Toyotas. I absolutely agree. Except for the 22Rs and some of the what years? The late 90s, like the 3.4 V6s were pretty easy to work on. Most Toyotas are kind of a pain in the has to deal with. Never been a real fan of working on him much. Mr. Kilgore says, "Yes, I know Mohawk. I'm married to him. That's what I'm supposed to buy now." Rainy Day says hi, Crystal, and thanks. TMI. Barrow says, "I need a T-shirt with a honey badger in the crosshairs flipping me off." That's a good one. But you want the honey badger animal, not the car. I might be able to come up with something for you. Dizzy says, "Love Valiant." Yep, my 65, the Angry Vagrant, 371 cubic inch, 8 3/4, 76 front suspension, new intake with 150 shot. That Angry Vagrant is a pretty darn cool car. Laurie's Garage is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Rainy Day. Who is Lars? I keep seeing that name in all these chats. Lars is LP94. He's friends with JB's little shop, and he will keep you laughing your ass off 24/7. He's just a pillar of this community. Great friggin' guy. A lot of fun to hang out with. He's an LP says he's an idiot at Rainy Day Auto. He's got a really cool channel. He does a lot of shorts, and they're always funny as hell. And he's building a Ford truck where he took out the mod motor piece of shit, and he's putting a 351 Windsor in its place, which is going to be cool in itself when it's done. Krista Kilgore says, "Lars is JB's sidekick, the Red Devil clown in disguise," right? 38 Racing. Lars says, "Lars is a legend, the JB's little shop sidekick." Yeah, when the sidekick becomes a legend, you have Lars. Shit, I should put that on a shirt. BNR says, "Nissan Maxima, I refuse to work on now. Tell the boss to get me a diesel truck." Right? Fuck Nissans. I hate working on them things. I actually worked for Nissan for a dealership for a couple of years. I don't miss working on them damn things. LP94 is very intelligent, but he gets tongue tied when he buys THM 700R4 parts. Good one, Dean. Lars is a super guy, and so is JB. That is indeed true. He also likes clutch and sun visors. 38 Racing says, "Well, he does hang out with Shoe Goo." Right? You got a point there, brother. Mohawk says, "Lars is my dark side stormtrooper." Heavens Mopar says, "Valiants are fun, Rainy Day. I had a 68 Valiant. Fun car. Now I have a 62 two-door, and I want to chop the top on it. I have a 340 the ton around 4-speed, 8 3/4 with 4 link. It's in the project phase." I like to see that come together, Scott. That'll be super cool. Crystal says, "No, no, Lars is JB's rescue squad leader." Right? Dean says, "I don't know that JB's little shop guy. He uses a lot of unconstitutional measurements like liters." Right? Not sure I trust metric people unless they're Canadian or Australian or Mexican. Dizzy says, "Scott, it will a killer chopped." BNR says, "I worked in a Chevy Nissan dealership too, Tony. I hate Nissan." That's actually funny because the dealership that I worked for here in Prescott, Arizona, was also a Chevy slash Nissan slash Subaru dealership, actually. But yeah, General Motors and Nissan in the same dealership. Rainy Day says I have a 63 Valiant that I post quite a bit about on Freight Buddies Only. I recently scored a 68 two door and I daily drive a 71 more door Valiant. That is cool. Four doors need love too. Valiant wagon, right on. Dizzy says seen a 413 cross ram with twin turbos blowing through them. Years and years ago, Dizzy, I think I was 16 or 17 years old when I seen this car. It was a T bucket that it had a 440 in it, but it had the long ram cross rams on it off a 413 super stock. And the last time I ever saw that car, it was wheeling down the main drag in Norco, California. That thing was bad to the friggin' bone. Barrow says Dotsons weren't too bad, but when they changed their name, something was Nissan, right? Yeah, the old Datsun pickups and little B210s, those things were cool. Yeah, BNR says he used to give us 3.4 hours flat rate to replace a Nissan long block. Had to swap oil pan, valve covers, etc. Running driveway. It's funny you bring that up, swapping long blocks. That dealership that I worked for, you're probably old enough to remember the defunct shitty car brand Daewoo. We were actually the servicing dealer for the Daewoos that had since gone defunct, and they paid a whopping 2.5 hours to change an engine. And those engines were so shitty that if they broke a timing belt, it didn't just bend the valves, it bent the fucking rods. And it was pretty common that they came in with broken timing belts needing long block replacements. That was actually part of the reason I quit working there. Fuck you and your 2.5 hours of changing engine in that little Vietnamese, whatever the hell it was, piece of shit car. Dean says, I respect Carlos Goshen. I just didn't enjoy working on any of his cars. Nice escape plan, musical instrument, Dillinger escape plan in Lebanon, not in jail. 38 says, speaking of metrics, Dean, the wealth of knowledge that you are, were the 59 and 60 Chevys down there equipped with kilometers per hour speedometers? I'm going to guess they probably were. Scott Evans Mopar says, my friend will be putting a 340 together for it soon. That's cool. 38, no thanks, System International. Wow. Everything was SAE until 1973. That's interesting for export. 38 says, dang, I'm looking for another one. BNR says it was Tuesday. I had to tow a Kia something to the Kia dealership. So it was so packed, turned and trapped with a flatbed, had to back up 400 feet around cars. That sucks. That sucks ass. Let's see. Rainy Day says, graduated high school in '05 and had a friend with a Daewoo. Seemed like a Japanese Chevy Cavalier. Yeah, they were something else. And the thing about them was they the recommended service interval for the timing belts on those cars was 90,000 miles, but every single one of them would religiously break the belt at about 50. First generation Kia engines were warranted for 100,000 and barely lived beyond that. Yeah, they were steaming piles of dog, you know what, by the time they had 100,000 on them, puking oil everywhere. And Kia dealers around here never would stand behind that warranty anyway. I actually had a friend that had one. It had, I don't know, 74, 75,000 miles on it. front valve cover was just puking oil like a pig. And I would think that would be a warranty issue on an engine that supposedly got a 100,000-mile warranty on it, right? Wrong. They wouldn't cover it. You ended up having to pay to have it fixed. Carlos Goshen was the Nissan and Renault manager, caught two-barrel dipping. BNR says they came out, Tony, to put that car there. I flipped, Tony. Fuck you. Call the junkyard and get these shit box cars out of here so I can pull out and unload, pull in and unload, right? Mater's in the house. Good to see you, man. Dizzy said, best friend Danny's dad at a transmission shop bet us $20 a piece. We couldn't change a C4 and a 66 staying in a half an hour. Did it in 26 minutes. I believe it. Yes, those early Mustangs were pretty easy to work on. Heaven says those are cool. I bought a 62 Lancer wagon for my dad. He wants to build up the slant six in it. I also have a 61 Valiant four-door I'm selling for $850. Right on. Interference engine with aluminum blocks and rubber band man cam timing change, right? BNR says it told him, Tony, I'm going to drop it right here on the highway. How about that? I hear you. I used to run into that kind of shit dump trucking all the time. Everything but the kitchen sink in the fucking way. And they just think you're going to put that big truck in there like, well, am I a friggin' magician or what? Barrow says, I know that in the 50s, the reason the center located jockey box and symmetrical dash was to make left hand drive swap cars super easy, especially in Mopars. That is a cool piece of information. Super cool piece of information. Barrows is really damn smart when it comes to some of this old trivia. Stuff you think doesn't really matter, but it does. Stuff that if you didn't know it would make building a car a whole lot harder. That is the cool thing about this group of people too, is there's so many of us. And if one guy doesn't know something, I guarantee you three others do. Mater says I found a chassis on Facebook Marketplace to build my mini top fuel dragster, but way too many problems with it. That sucks. With something like that, you're going to run into that a lot trying to buy something used. Rubber Band Man, a song by Yellow, right? I know the song you're talking about. That's right, Tony. Yep. Let's see. 38 Racing said, I watched the fuel trucks back a quarter mile into a cornfield, not knock down a single plant. I used to have to do a lot of that with belly dump paving when I was paving interstates with belly dump trailer. Do a lot of long distance. It wasn't uncommon to back up a half, three quarters of a mile, sometimes more. And you got to stay in the milled out ditch. Peckerwood's back. Goes good too, Dean, right? Rainy Day says, Heaven, subscribe, cool channel. He has a very cool channel. He does some awesome work and takes on some things that would make most people run in fear. He will take a complete rusted out pile of crap and turn it into a car again. We actually, there's a hashtag out there that will be a car again. And that was created for Scott at Heaven's Mopars. Dean says it does it for me too, Peckerwood. Peckerwood says, I'm in and out, mate, fixing my ride on mower. Well, that's always fun. I guess you guys got warm weather where you're at right now. It's getting freaking cold here, and mower's put up for the year. see what else we got going on. Yeah, my riding mower is about 300 years old. It seems like. I think it's just going to be time to get a new one next year. The deck is so damn thin, and I welded on it so many friggin' times. There's not much material left to weld on anymore. And 38 races says mower. It's snowblower time. I know, right? Rainy day says I'm lucky in my area. Huge rust isn't a thing. Extremely dry here. These guys who can fix big rust are amazingly talented. I completely agree. Yeah, we don't have a big rust problem here in Arizona either, thankfully. Peckerwood says it's coming into hotter than Hades season. About 5 months of it, the lawn goes stupid, right? That's what happens here about April. April and May is when the start to get the rains and it warms up and the weeds just go nuts. Mohawk says ride on mower. Ha, here it's a riding mower. Peckerwood says the wrong side of the world, 38. Heaven says, thanks, Rainey. I will do what I can to share and promote yours. That's what we do here. Good bunch. Barrow says, I'm not the brightest bulb on the tree, but Paul Kelly's dumb thing showed me how to walk that tree the right way. I think you're a lot brighter than you give yourself credit for there, brother. You build some pretty cool shit. Peckerwood says, isn't it a lawn tractor or is that something else again? Yeah, we call them lawn tractors here too. Dean says, I'm the Paul Kelly. Don't start me talking big guy. BRG. One. Mater's Workshop. Here in North Texas, we ask, what's a snowblower? I know, right? We don't see snowblowers around here much either, but I spent enough time in Wisconsin to know what one is and how to work on them. Hey, Renegade's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Rainy Day says, I always wanted to build a lawn tractor and do 30 miles an hour. So many projects, so little time. I've actually kicked the idea around when I do replace this one that we've got, because basically the engine's good, but the deck is just shot to hell. I'm gonna just shit can the deck and kind of build a guess what you would call the Tim Taylor home improvement Binford 5000 racing mower, something like that. Maybe put a little nitrous on it. That'd be fun, huh? Arrows might not be the sharpest knife in the drawer, but compared to some, you're a razor. That is true. Um, Daniel Powell Machine said it best. One of his videos a while back. Some people are just stupid on purpose. I absolutely love that phrase. Peckerwood says, isn't it a snowblower something you find at the 7-Eleven? Sometimes. DNR says Dean timing belts are better on single overhead cam, dual overhead cam, except the old Ford 4.6 and 5.4 modulars. Mohawk says I just call it a lawnmower, push or riding, right? Crystal says, hi, one-eyed cat. Did one-eyed cat sneak in? Or when Mrs. One-eyed Cat's in here? I haven't seen the real one-eyed cat yet tonight. Rapid Transit Jay says, I've done that rainy day, scary as hell. John Wilburn did too. When remember a while back when he had that mower run away with him on it down that hill and down the road and through the intersection. Him and I actually talked on the phone about that. I think his ass was puckered a little bit. Barrows says here in southeast Idaho, the snow blowers, Montana slipping to Utah, or shipping to Utah, right? 38 says snow blowers are how you replace windshields with my rock driveway. Yep, they will throw rocks just like they throw snow. Mater says cars and cameras built a riding mower that went over 60 miles an hour. That would be scary. That would just be downright scary. Crystal says, I just grabbed salt for a gravel driveway, right? Except salt promotes rust, corrosion. Single overhead cam clone V6 engine, V6 fire, and F simplex timing chain West German revenge. Right? Renegades went past 17,000 subs. Congratulations, man. That is cool. Glad to see the channel growing for you. Beckerwood says, I had to ride on a mower, cut a branch, and drive it through my leg when I stupidly put my foot down to stop it tipping. Went all the way through my ankle. Holy fuck. Ugh, that sounds painful. BNR watched the video last year. The main culprit why so many timing chain failures today is because of direct injection. It creates more soot than a diesel engine does, and it's very abrasive in the oil. Yeah, and with the direct injection engines, the wrong oil can also cause pre-ignition and detonation. And Dean says, Renegades, you've earned it by being personable, smart, and sharing, and you're more the sharper tool than others realize. I completely agree with that statement. He's got a great channel. Mater asks you in it past your bedtime. Nope. It's his bedtime when he wants it to be his bedtime. Sounds like it's about Laurie's bedtime, though. He's going to bed. Night, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Dizzy says, I'm proud to have 768. Tickles me to death. Right on. Yeah, I've not, I think I'm about 1,050 now. I'm getting pretty close to it. Where are we at? 1,049 subs right there. Just keeps growing. It's been a heck of a journey, that's for sure. Fun one, though. Wasn't for the channel, I wouldn't have met all you fine people. Wouldn't be part of this absolutely awesome community. "38 says it's my nap time too. Good night, all." Good night, man. Thanks for hanging with us. Peckerwood says it's 1:30 p.m. and I'm ready for a nap. Yeah, I've had days like that too. Dean says the wearing surfaces have been downgraded and matched against what engineers think exist. A lot of testing wasn't done. The basics like driving at 11 miles an hour for 2,500 miles and reversing for 9 hours, right? Rainy day must have hit 66. Right on. How many subs you pick up tonight hanging out with us? Dean was tested. Okay, Renegade says at this rate I'll have 20K before I get around to doing my 10K sub giveaway. Definitely didn't expect it. Must have had some good videos that really took off for you, man. That is cool. Sure love hearing that. All your videos are great, so it's hard to say what did it, but maybe just a combination of all of them. Yeah, Renegade does a lot of really cool tool videos. Evans Mopar says, "Congrats on 17K. I was told if I changed my channel name that I would get more subs. I'm not about to conform or change for that reason. I'm standing firm on what I believe." Absolutely. Channel will grow regardless of the name of it, Scott. You know what they say, if you build it, they will come. I don't see anything wrong with Heavens or Mopars. Nothing at all. Great name. Scott's a great guy. Anybody that doesn't like him is just a downright fool. Believe it or not, we've had trolls that actually said some pretty crappy stuff about Scott a while back. Naturally, those people just aren't welcome around us. And see, Renegade agrees. I don't see anything wrong with your channel's name. Dizzy says, "Got to go. Have a good weekend, people." You too, Dizzy. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Dean says it wouldn't have worked as solid rocket booster O-ring, Scott. Right? Dean's always got something good to say. He's a smart guy right there. And funny. It's always great having him hang out with us. Renegade says, "Yeah, I have trolls too. Yeah, don't we all?" But you know what? Sometimes trolls just keep us on our toes, and I don't know, it's kind of funny laughing at them sometimes. Like I said, some people are just stupid on purpose. Makes for good comedy at times. Thanks everyone, and appreciate you all. We appreciate you, Scott. Absolutely. Actually, I haven't seen in here tonight. It's Bad Attitude Blake. He usually comes in and says hello. Renegade says, "One threatened to come here and split my head open. I just laughed and said, 'Come get some.' Then I actually had one say sort of the same thing to me, a little bit different. He said he was going to come out here all the way from New Jersey and smash my head into the concrete. And I offered to buy him the plane ticket. That was the last I heard of that dipshit." Rainy Days' tools are always a great topic. I had issues with Craftsman going into decline. Now I buy Husky for several reasons. Yeah, I had a lot of Craftsman back in the day, and they really did kind of go downhill. 90% of my stuff is Snap on Mac or Macco these days. It's expensive, but it's worth it. Rabbit Transit J actually says, Husky actually makes some nice stuff. I agree. And, believe it or not, is actually really nice tools is the Icon series stuff at Harbor Freight too, but it's expensive. It's Harbor Freight's upper Chinese stuff, I like to call it, but I actually do own a few Icon tools, and they've been nice to work with. Jason's Garage. Happy Friday, folks. Howdy, Tony. Howdy, Jason. Good to see you, man. Always nice to see you stop in and say hey. Dean says, "I've blown more O-rings than you all have had hot dinners, drill core and Dutch cone. Pentrometer hole drilling and density testing with nuclear isotopes. When a ring goes, the shore is hardness is." Got a job for Sears for the employee discount in '04, but they played me dirty and wouldn't let me work tool territory and put me in jewelry, which I hated. That sucks. This is One Eyed Cat saying hey to Jason. Yeah, it's kind of shitty. You get a job and you want to work in the tools and they send you somewhere else. About par for the course. Corporate world for you. I've pretty much worked for myself for the last 25 years and I like it that way. It's a lot of work working for yourself. It's being married to a business. It's hard to do stuff, but in the end, the freedom is worth it. So what's Jason into tonight? How was your week, brother? This week I've been doing a whole lot of haven't done much out in the shop actually this week. The weather's been kind of shitty, but been real busy with graphic work. Set doing new shirts and I was showing earlier I did that new one for John Cope and been working on the Slant Daily Garage Cookie Monster shirt and getting web pages set up for them guys and a lot of administrative stuff. Dean says my son worked jeweler assistant at the Key Cutters at Mr. Minute. You wouldn't believe how awesome it is when people trust you with your jewelry, right? Especially some of that expensive shit. Some of that jewelry is damned expensive. Renegade says, speaking of that, I still want the three shirts and hats, just trying to gather up the funds. Yeah, no problem, man. Just let me know. Nothing but a thing. When you're ready, we're ready. His sister was mist amazed at the people that came to the counter. Right? Probably see a little bit of everything in that line of work, if I had to guess. I would think jewelry should be string metals that will last like cast iron. Gold is weak and soft and too much hype. I kind of agree with that. Never been big on jewelry. Any idea on the price? Let's see, where were we at with okay, three shirts and three hats. Probably probably somewhere around 100 and a quarter ish shipped. You know, 25 a piece for embroidered hats. That's $75. And then the shirts are going to be 22, $23 a piece, somewhere in there. Probably cost $8 or $9 to get it to you there in Florida. I'm hitting bed since I actually usually am asleep by 9 because of work. I'll be working on two-drawer countertop cabinet tomorrow, and I'll video it. Right on, Mater. Get some rest, brother. Look at that. We've already gone an hour and 40 minutes. Go about another 20 minutes. We run to the 2 hour mark and probably shut it down myself because I got a whole shitload of stuff I got to get done in the shop tomorrow. It's going to be an early morning and a long ass day. Probably run into Sunday, but supposed to get some crappy weather come Sunday. Supposed to drop about 20 degrees. I think the high on Sunday is only supposed to be like 47 degrees. Rainy and wet. That's why I was making sure I get the old salamander heaters fired up, working. You can argue with me when I call on them. On the hats, you're talking in the center. Yeah, your Renegade's garage logo embroidered right in the center, correct? That's what you wanted? Rainy day said most of you must be on Eastern time. It's 9:45 p.m. here. Yeah, okay, so I'm actually on Mountain Time, well, Arizona time. We don't do the daylight savings thing. It's actually a quarter till 9 here. So I'm actually an hour behind you. Dean says, "Oh, probably Renegades." Mohawk is on Eastern time. Renegade says, "I ask because most hats have a seam in the center." Yes, sir. I do. I can get both. Most of the hats, especially the ones that I print on, I do what they call it a 5 panel hat, where it doesn't have. It's got the seam in the center and the back, but not in the front. Hang on a sec. I'll full screen this here real quick. Wait, I am full screen. Don't have anybody in here tonight. You look at this hat here that we did for Travis. See how this is what you call a 5 panel. It does not have the seam in the middle. So we can do these, or we can do your regular hats like this that do have the seam in the middle. Yeah, I pretty much get them all. But I do really like these Yupong. I think they're 6606 if I remember right. The 5 panel. And I get the exact same hat in the 6 panel as well. We do a lot of both styles. Dean says, "How far are you from Mexican Express delivery place in Nogales, Arizona?" Nogales is probably about 6 hours south of here. I actually did some belly dump work when I was still belly dumping with the Freightliner down in Nogales, way the hell down there, south of Tucson, even. Jason's has a Travis Mopar hat, and it's nice. Yep, we did them. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat said, "I had a good night at work. I've been trying to catch this lady stealing for weeks. I knew she was stealing, but I never caught her till tonight. I put her out of my store. I said to her, 'Don't you come back.' Yep, I got no use for a goddamn thief." Nothing worse than a thief or a liar. Well, there is things that's worse, but those are two of the same that I have absolutely zero use for. It's up to me. If I caught somebody stealing, I'd cut their fucking hands off. Jason says, "I will get some gunslinger apparel soon." Right on, brother. You talking about just buying other people's stuff off the side? You want me to do some stuff for you for your channel? Can do either one. Be happy to add you to the collection. Day says Mohawk Nice Duster. I'm checking out your channel on my other screen. I do the same thing. I've got it's a, what is this? This is a 43-inch 4K that I use for the monitor in here. And I split it into 4 screens. It's especially handy when I'm doing design work, and it's also super handy doing these live streams. This is One-Eyed Cat says, that's right, Tony. I'm the same way. There's no reason for it, you know? I need some work shirts and hats made. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to do it for you, man. Renegade says, after I get some, can my viewers get some of my merch from you? Absolutely. Yeah, we'll talk, and if you want, I can either sell it to you or I can do it like I do for these other guys. And I've got what do I got now? 16, 14 channels that I've got on the website now, and it works out well because it doesn't cost you a bunch to get started. We'll just set you up a page and do a shop link, and everything that's you do the promotion, and everything that sells you get $5 a piece off of it. And from what I'm told, that beats the hell out of Teespring. I can tell you from experience that the stuff I produce is far superior in quality to Teespring. I've also been told it's really hard to get any money out of them. In order to make money selling on Teespring, you have to price yourself out of the market pretty much. Yeah, Teespring shirts suck. Yeah, years ago I bought one. It was off of Facebook. It was actually a pretty cool Mopar Jack Daniels themed shirt, and I think that damn thing lasted about 3 washes, and the graphics just washed right off of it. And hell, I mean, this was back in like 2010, 2012, something like that. I paid like $38 for that shirt back then. Some of my most expensive offerings are barely that today. And that's even with a $5 pad built into them, for the channel that's selling them. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat says, Tony, can you make a 9-inch decal for me, not a 12 like before? Send me a message with the price. Absolutely, I can do that. Actually, just in fact, I think it's supposed to be here tomorrow. I just ordered some more vinyl for doing decals because I got to do I'm doing a couple of Casper-Matic decals for Tim Jacobson's truck. So yeah, I'll shoot you a price, Wendy. 9-inch is going to be probably $2 less than the 12 was. I'd have to do the math off the top of my head. I don't remember what that 12-inch worked out to. What I charge you for that? And actually, no, I did that 12 for Don. I gave it to him, didn't I, for his birthday? I think a 9-inch decal is gonna be like $18, somewhere in there. Rainy day, that blue 72 Duster you were selling for $25K. Which blue 72 Duster are we talking about? Yeah, I figure. Yeah, just the white One-Eyed Cat, about 9 inches. I can do that for you, no problem at all. You want it white, correct? Or black or red or pink or whatever damn color you want. Just let me know. I can do them. Make them a pink one. How's that? Rainy Day Auto, that's the local car show. Local car lot here in town. By the way, he has dropped the price to $19,000. Never had a Scamp until now, but it's a parts car, 72 Scamp, because it's rear-ended and no title, but I always thought Scamps are cool. Scamps are way cool. Mohawk Scamp is beyond cool. That thing's bad to the bone. Love that car. Let's see here. I'm gonna, okay. For those of you that are curious, this one-eyed cat decal that we're talking about is right here. That's the one and only One-Eyed Cat YouTube channel. Oh, anytime. Anytime, Todd. That car is just cool. Long wheelbase demon, right? He wants to put it on his car. Does he want to put it on the window or does he want to put it on the paint? Because if he wants to put it on actually on the car, we might want to do it in black. Wendy. Can you send me a quote to my email with your info on where to send the payment to? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to write that down right now so I don't forget because it'll probably be Sunday or Monday before I get to it. Three. Three embroidered hats, correct? And three X shirts. Was it 3X the size you wanted, Renegade? And you want Renegades 2X. Okay, sorry. You're not a fat guy like me. Three 2X shirts, and we're going to do the Renegade on the left chest as well as large on the back, correct? Okay, so I got some notes taken down. I'll get that. I'll get that put together for you on and pocket tees. That's right. You're a pocket tee guy. Got it. Got it. Yeah, I'll throw together an estimate for you and get it shot over to you in email. A lot of cool screen names y'all come up with. At first, I thought of Naomi's Junk, then it seemed like a no go, so Rainy Day seemed much better. I actually really like that name, Rainy Day Auto. That said, I'm guessing your name is Naomi. Mohawk says, if I can get a little better gear and a scamp, I think it would be a good race for your truck. That would be fun. That would absolutely be fun. Renegade says, yes, on the pocket in the front. Yeah, absolutely. I actually do a lot of Carhartt shirts for John Cope. He really likes the Carhartts, and with good reason. They're great shirts, but those damn things are expensive. Evan says rainy. Dawn at One Eyed Cat is a 62 Valiant as well as a 440 in it with two 4-barrel carbs. It is sweet. It is definitely sweet. Love that car. Used to have a 5-barrel setup on it and big on the back, of course. Yeah, we'll do it in 11 and a half, 12-inch on the back. You have 2X tall shirts. In some brands, I can get the 2X talls. If you want, I can look into it for you. I think Port Authority makes a reasonably priced one. 2X tall with a pocket. Yeah, I can get just about every darn shirt out there. So I'll check into that for you. Rainy Day says road toads are cool cars. Never had anything that old. One Eyed Cat and his trusty partner, Mrs. One Eyed Cat. Absolutely. They make a great team. Dean says, I worked with a lovely lady called No Rainy. She said, if I arrive, if you want the rain to stop. Right on. Yeah, so Renegade, look at your email Sunday, Monday. I'll get that worked up for you, no problem. See, Rainy Dado says my birthplace is very rainy tropical climate, which is complete contrast to where I am now in Colorado because it's extremely dry here and rain is hard to come by. Yeah, it doesn't rain much around here either. And when it does, it rains like hell, and then you don't see any for months. Mrs. One Eyed Cat says, Heavens Mopars, we got to get the two of them road toads. We've got two of them road toads, so you all know. Well, I knew that. They're just cool cars. Still got 17 in here. We're coming up on that 2 hour mark, and time sure has flown on by tonight. Had a bunch of people in here and some new faces. I'm glad to see everybody hanging out with us and glad you took the time to hang out and participate in the chat. It's good meeting you, Rainy Day Auto. I hope to see more of you in the community and maybe we'll see you at No Name Nationals in 2025. It'd be really cool. Bring one of them rescues of yours. Sounds like you got some really cool stuff. I'm going to keep an eye on your channel and see what comes out. Really like I like the rescue stuff. That's cool. So keep doing what you're doing and Don't read too much into it. Just when you're working on the cars or talking about the cars, just turn the camera on and talk to the camera like it's an old friend. And tell you what, that channel will grow real quick doing what you're doing. Just think of Vice Grip Garage. Look at where he's at now, and he started that channel doing road rescues like that. I think he's got 2 million subs now. If you build it, they will come. Just remember. Great seeing you. Great hanging out with everybody. Heavens Mopar says if you want a third one, he's selling a 61 Valiant for 850. There you go. We are we're at the time. We're going to go ahead and shut down. Appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat, and it's been a good one tonight. Until next time, y'all take care. See you next week. Same time, same place. See ya.